going on today, guys? Welcome back. Tonight, we are back on the Peterbilt project. We have one goal for this evening, one goal. It's a pretty big goal, and that is to remove the fuel tanks from the truck. We need to remove the fuel tanks, the brackets. The brackets are hook bolted onto the frame, so we are gonna have to use the fire wrench and torch these brackets off without messing up the brackets or the frame of the truck. So that is what we are gonna attempt to complete this evening. It's already a little bit late, but we are going to get it done because they are finally sold. The guy coming to get the fuel tanks is coming tomorrow, so we need to get them off. And if you look closely here, if you look in the bed of the 08, we have got quite the load of new parts in there. So real quick, actually, I forgot to mention, we are gonna be at the Beans Blackout in the county event. We're gonna be at the Beans event this weekend, so if you guys are in the area around down here, Tennessee, Kentucky, it's this weekend. I'll make sure I put up a flyer on the screen, but we will be there. We'll be set up with the wrenchwork stuff. We'll be set up kind of with the fleece guys there, so it's gonna be a good time. I think we may have to throw something a little bit more meaty on the 05 here. Bust this baby out. I keep saying it's gonna be the last time we're gonna be using it before the engine comes out, but because the shop is still kind of in limbo, we're waiting to pull the engine out yet again, but I think we should do some dirt drags with this thing. So I think that's what we're gonna do this weekend. Make sure you guys come out, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna stop talking, we're gonna put the camera down, and we are gonna start getting these things off the truck. It is the next evening. As you can see, we have successfully removed both fuel tanks. The torches worked out extremely well. As you guys can see, we got a little bit of frame cleanup to do. Nothing too major, nothing that can't be fixed up, but got the other side done as well. And we got all of the boxes moved inside. We got the hood popped on the 05, so we're gonna try and get a little bit more work done this evening as well. But here's the other side. Again, next up on the list, well, first next up on the list is trying to start on removing this top. So to do so, we kind of got to remove all of the interior, all of the headliner stuff. Shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna try and work on that this evening because we want to get this top to the new owner to get our new top, the flat top. So we're going to start on that. But next up down here, we're pretty much going to continue down the frame and remove the batteries, remove the air tanks, remove the air tank and the steps and everything on here. We're pretty much going to try to basically smooth the frame as much as possible, get a nice clean look, and we're going to have to open up all of those boxes. Number one, because we want to see what's inside of them. I want to show you guys all that stuff. And I just want to check for damage just in case we have something silly happen in shipping. I want to let the company know before it's like 3-4 weeks down the road before we get to put any of that on. So that's kind of where we're at. We busted the tanks out though, super good. So those are sold, those are gone. And again, the number one reason, and maybe this will make sense, is we didn't save the tank bracket. So Peterbilt, somewhere around this year range in the 03, 05, 06 range, went from a 23-inch diameter circumference, whatever you want to call it, tank to a 26. We wanted to upgrade to the 26-gallon tanks so we can get an actual shorter tank, bigger diameter, same gallon fuel. So we got 100-gallon, 26-inch diameter tanks. That is what's in these babies right here. So we'll go ahead and pop these open. Let's do this first. We'll do the unboxing of this stuff first, and then we'll jump into the cab up here. We haven't unboxed everything quite yet just because this place is already a mess, but I'm gonna go over some of the parts behind me of what we got. Take a look. Guys, I don't know, you're probably not even gonna recognize who you're talking to. There is a lot of polished material going on right now, but for the Peterbilt, I mean, there's just something about a big truck. Maybe not everything, we haven't quite decided what we're gonna paint match, but there definitely needs to be some polished look to a big rig. So for now, a lot of it's polished. We're not sure what we're gonna eventually paint match, but for the time being, we got some new stuff. So here are the new fuel tanks. Got them both unboxed, checked them out for damage. Everything looks good. So rear fill tanks, which ours were center filled, still have the old manifold style because this does have, like, I guess there's a different manifold style. This is what they call that, I guess. So old manifold style, rear fill, 100-gallon tank. So we're only losing fuel capacity by like 20 gallons. The old tanks were 110. So these are 100 gallons, which is fine. We're not working this truck. I mean, 100-gallon tanks, each side is going to be more than enough. Oh, baby. Polished air tanks, these things, while we could have like powder coated these, I'm not sure if it was this one or the next one, but the other one has actually got like some pinholes where this kind of rubbed through. So 9.5 polished air tanks. These should look really, really cool. Got some really nice, we got like wide 6-inch straps for the tanks. Got some wide, like 1.5 something polished straps for that. So maybe we'll go ahead and like paint match the straps or something for now. We're not really sure, but again, I told you guys, we weren't messing around. We got the smoothie steps, 2 of them matching. So went ahead, I was trying to find used ones. And again, the normal look is like this diamond plate, and I know you can get covers for them, but we weren't able to find a good deal on boxes. So we went ahead and just bought brand new. These look absolutely killer. We're probably gonna get some like maybe black insert steps and put them here. I'm not really sure on the exact look. We just needed to kind of get the steps and tanks so we can go ahead and start situating the new look after we go ahead and clean up the frame and all that stuff. One other piece that we ordered but was not here is this section from here all the way up until we're gonna hit the top. We're not gonna be able to put them on in here anyway, but we got some big old stacks for this thing. They match this. They are gonna look absolutely killer. So tanks, boxes, And then all of the miscellaneous stuff that we're gonna need for this. Again, the new hangers, the new straps, went ahead and got new brackets for the frame. Gonna delete the turn signal off of here. I'm not quite sure how I feel about these. The turn signal is now kind of in here. I know some guys delete them fully and kind of just run them off the mirrors. So again, we're not completely sold on the exact look, like I continually keep mentioning. This one-piece aluminum grill surround, ours has holes drilled all inside of it, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. What else? Just a lot of miscellaneous stuff, like new sending units for the tanks. Yeah, so a lot of new stuff. Again, some stuff is not here that we ordered with this stuff. Some of this was just the stuff that was in stock. So quite a bit of new parts, but definitely going to be worth it. I kind of actually threw this tank over here just to kind of show you guys, and I know it's hard to see inside the shop here. So tank is gonna sit kind of right about there, and then you can kind of see the look that it's going to kind of imitate. Without really stretching it, we're gonna have that much open frame, you know, from here back. The tanks are gonna end right about here, so it's gonna kind of mimic a stretched look. The cab is gonna, the new sleeper is gonna end right about here, so it's gonna give it a nice look. So for now, I'm done talking. Wanted to show you guys the parts. Wanted to check for damage. We are now gonna get our butts inside here and start ripping this interior down. So I almost forgot. How could I forget about this one right in front of everybody? Ooh! My goodness. 20-inch boltless bumper. Some of you guys are a big fan of all these lights and stuff down here. This bumper got to go. This was actually an 18-inch bumper, so we got a little bit longer of a bumper. Boxed end, completely smooth, no bolts, no nothing. Somewhere in that box were a new one of these too. So really, I'm trying to gear up so when someone comes and polishes this, because it is definitely not gonna be me, we can go ahead and clean this up, clean the whole front end up, boxes, they can polish these, paint correct the whole entire thing. We got to do something up there with the visor and such, but I'm going to worry about that when the top is kind of being completed. But good base to kind of just completely transform this thing. Alrighty, let's see what kind of damage we can do this evening on the interior of this baby. I believe a lot of it is just screws. All right. One piece down. Well, we have made some progress, not a ton. Got the foam insulation and some of the interior pieces out of the truck. Let's try and walk over here without falling and dying. But as you can see inside here, again, like I mentioned before, we did assume that this top had been changed. You can kind of see right here, Cincinnati fiberglass. We even know right here, if this little thing, shift number 1 back in 02, month, day, operation number, sequence number. something. Shift number 1 made this top here for us from Cincinnati fiberglass, but this is kind of where we're going to end this evening. It looks, I just got off the phone with Mark and we're not really sure the exact story. This entire boot ring has been changed and has been painted. We're not sure if this truck maybe started out as a day cab. We know that the sleeper was not original either on this truck. So sleeper was added. They've changed, and it looked like a pretty factory job, but they changed the entire boot ring out, which we're gonna try not to. I'm gonna try and section in a new boot ring because I am not unhook bolting this entire ring. Technically that is quote unquote the proper way, but I know a lot of people that, I should say I've talked to a couple different people who have changed and they have sectioned in this new ring right about here where it starts the radius is gonna be. So we're gonna kind of figure that out, cut this down here, and then section in a new piece of ring because our sleeper does not have this sweeping radius. It actually kind of comes here and kind of comes up right about here. So quite a bit different. This is the point of this project where I am feeling slightly overwhelmed, but this is a good stopping point. And again, it's nothing we can't tackle. But it is going to be definitely some work here. And you can kind of see right here, they must have not been able to get the hook gun up inside here because this is all through bolted on the top here. But where it's easy to get to, they hooked it. They hook bolted up here and then just carriage bolted along the side here. And you can kind of see hooks here. This is kind of what like a hook bolt looks like. It's basically like a rivet style, basically gets pulled, squeezed, and right here you can see where the visor was attached. It's through bolted. So getting this top off is definitely going to be a job for another day, but as I always say, progress is progress, boys. We did get something done. As always, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. Hopefully, I'll see a lot of you guys out at the Beans Diesel event. We'll keep plugging away on this thing. We're going to be working on this thing a little bit later here, swapping some wheels and tires. You guys don't need to see me change any more wheels and tires, but that is going to do it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. I'll see you.